There's no game like Portal 2, and I'm including the original Portal when I say that. The standalone successor to Valve's meme-making masterpiece still uses the same Portal in, Portal out technology of the first game, but the scope and scale of the sequel make Portal 2 a whole unique experience and one of the best games of this year so far. The player once again plays the part of Chell, who continues Valve's tradition of silent protagonists. Chell awakens from a clinically induced sleep at an unspecified time in the far future, once again trapped in Aperture Laboratories. She is awakened by Wheatley, voiced wonderfully by Stephen Merchant, who becomes Chell's tag-along companion and also delivers many of the game's more humorous lines.
Hey, it's me!
Well, I'm back. The aerial faceplate in here is sending a distress signal. You broke it, didn't you?
To no one's surprise, GLaDOS is still alive and out for revenge against Chell. The story is masterfully written and takes some wonderful turns, one of which brings in J.K. Simmons as the pre-recorded voice of Cave Johnson.
Welcome, gentlemen, to Aperture Science. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, you're here because we want the best, and you are it.
Each of the three characters is funny and sympathetic and malicious in their own way, and I found their bits of dialogue to be perfect rewards for completing each challenge. Even beyond the spoken dialogue and action set pieces, Valve's mastery of subtle storytelling is overtly evident. There's an uncountable number of mythology-expanding Easter eggs, none of which you even have to see to complete the game. All of this culminates with the climactic and hugely satisfying ending, along with another excellent Jonathan Colton credits song. Once again, your only means of interacting with this world is by shooting one of two colored portals, but the ramifications of doing so have increased dramatically. You can use this mechanic to redirect lasers, extend light bridges, lay down different types of goo, and more often using several of these in concert. However, never are these puzzles so complex as to wreck your brain trying to keep everything straight. Valve has achieved the perfect medium, where the solutions are not immediately apparent, but are just within reach after just a few minutes of experimentation. Most of the game takes place inside the test chambers once again, but the parts outside the chambers are decidedly less interesting and slightly more rote. It usually amounts to just hunting for a white spot on the wall to place a portal. However, once again, there's nothing like the feeling of after solving a particularly devilish puzzle. This is especially true of the game's co-op campaign, a wholly separate set of test chambers with an even more difficult set of challenges. I found this mode just as fun as the single-player one, though I was rather disappointed at its comparative lack of story. Portal 2 looks good, just like every other Valve game. It definitely looks best on PC, but the graphical fidelity on all platforms appears only marginally improved since the Orange Box came out in 2007. However, the environments themselves have dramatically varied. From the game's opening sequence, you get to see just how big Aperture's labs are, and trying to comprehend that size makes my head spin. I could go on more, a lot more, but that might involve spoiling the game's excellent story or giving away some of the game's brilliant puzzles. All you need to hear is that Portal 2 simply must be experienced. It's really good. Story gets a 10 for Valve's amazing character work and subtle story cues. Design and gameplay get 9.5s each, as the two are very much linked, and each makes the other all the better. Presentation gets an 8.5. The source engine isn't awe-inducing, but the game's environments are sprawling. Replay value scores a 6.5. The developer commentary is interesting, but there isn't enough of it, and beyond that, there's not really much reason to play again. Finally, Portal 2 scores a 9.5. Valve, you beautiful geniuses, Portal 3 can't come soon enough.